Okay, so I just had a really scary situation happen, and I feel like I need to talk to you about it and get the awareness out because this could be you, and this is how I dealt with it. Today, I was in the grocery store. I had to get a couple things, and something very, it's a little spooky, okay? So, as you can see from the title. So what happened was I was going down the aisles in the grocery store like you normally would, and I noticed this guy was staring at me, which, okay, that's no big deal. I don't know, maybe he watched my videos before. It's not like, I do most of the stuff in the States, so probably not many Canadians would even recognize me, maybe. I have no idea. So I'm playing it cool. I just kind of noticed that he's looking at me. I go down every single aisle. I'm doing some shopping. I only have a basket, so I'm not getting a lot of things. And now I'm noticing that I had to backtrack because, I forgot something. I'm going to need to go get my bananas and all this other stuff. So I'm walking, and now I'm in the mid aisle, and this guy is coming at the end, and he's straight up, you could tell he was looking for me. Okay, now I'm starting to think this is starting to be a pattern, right? So I go and get the bananas. I'm trying to go in different spots. Oh, I forgot something in the freezer section because I want to make sure that, I'm not being paranoid. Obviously, it's job hazard, right? And so I go and I do that, and then it's time to check out. Now, he's absolutely following me probably for a good 15-20 minutes that I'm in there. So I start to go to the checkout, and he notices that I go to the checkout. So he decides to go to the self-checkout, which is, like two aisles behind me because I'm at the checkout. So I'm trying to think fast because I'm going, now I know this guy is actually following me. What do I do? So I get out my phone, and I'm looking at the girl, and I'm taking my sweet time. And of course, she's probably thinking, what's this lady so slow? But I type into my phone in the notepad, and I say, hey, there's a guy behind me all in black. Pretty sure he's following me and he's watching me. And I just kind of joke around with her like, oh, yeah, I have my point card. Just a minute here, and show it to her, and she's reading it. And at this time, he's already done, and he walks outside the door. But the way the checkout is when he walks out the door, he could see me from the door. Now, when you walk out, you would just turn your back, but he's turned right around, staring and waiting for me to pack my groceries. So I'm taking my sweet time, putting, the stuff in the bag, and I'm looking at the woman, and I'm saying, I'm telling her what I see, but I'm laughing, kind of like, oh, yeah, it's been a great day. But what I'm really saying is, oh, yeah, he's dressed all in black, and he's just sitting out there in, the door, and I'm explaining what's happening. And I said, so please just let me sit here, and, we can deal with this until I figure out what he's doing. In the meantime, this guy is checking in the window, watching me, and then going to the side of the door so I don't see him. I believe he was also vaping, maybe just to delay or whatever. Now, this guy had multiple run-ins with me in the grocery store in 20 minutes. So if he wanted to say something, he could say something. Now, I'm typically not a super paranoid person when I'm out, but I'm very aware of my surroundings. And we'll talk about that in a minute because, ladies, you got to be super careful, and I'll give you a couple tips of what else I did or what we could do. Now, this doesn't happen a lot, but lately, I don't know what's in the air. There's been a few people it's been a little bit of creepazoid in the last little bit. So I'm standing there talking to the lady. He's still watching me, and he keeps hiding behind the outside of the building and then looking in. So I said she says to me, do you want to be walked out? I said, absolutely. I'm not leaving here until somebody takes me. She's like, I'm going to get a man to walk you out. I said, perfect. So this big, tall guy, pretty bulky guy comes out to take my groceries out. So now I'm playing it super cool, right? And I'm trying not to look at this guy, and I'm walking out, and then I'm, laughing at the helper guy going, oh, yeah, I hurt my back, which is true story. The other day I hurt my back lifting water, but that's a whole other story. And, playing it, just giggling and walking past this guy, not paying attention to him, but knowing that he's there. So the helper brings my groceries into the car, and then I'm shaking a little bit. You could probably see my camera shake a little bit. It was just really weird. So he's helping my groceries into the car, and I lightly kind of say to him, just make sure I get into the vehicle before you walk away. Guy says, no problem. So then I'm jovial going, oh, okay, have a great day. This guy is still staring at me because I go and climb in the car and looking towards the guy to say thank you. And I can see this guy behind him still staring at me. I climb in the car. I start to drive away. And now this guy's walking towards my car, but I lock the car as soon as I get in and drive away. Now, here's the important thing. As I drive away, I'm not going towards my home. I'm not going towards any of that. I'm going the complete opposite, and I'm driving so this guy doesn't have a clue in a carload where I'm going. The important thing is, ladies, if you are by yourself and you have groceries, do not, under any circumstances, put your groceries in the trunk. If you put the groceries in your trunk, these guys you can't see anything right from your obviously, because you're focusing on in the trunk, and he can come up to you. Do not do that. Let me breathe for a minute. It's a little scary because I'm spooked a bit. It's just a little spooky. So don't do that. Don't bring your phone and put your face in the phone as you're walking to the car. These creepers are everywhere. I had a situation, I want to say 2 months ago, before, and then even yesterday. I don't know what's in the air. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because it's coming up a full moon, and that's a thing. Especially nurses out there, you'll understand. You'll say yes. Also, first responders, it gets crazy when it's full moon. So there's a big moon coming. Now, what I want to say too is lately there's been reports of some trafficking kind of things going on in Calgary. And so one of the things, there was a story of a woman who, there was an odd man looking at her house, and she had a kid at home. She was by herself, and then she thought that was super weird. He was making some weird excuse to where, he's looking for a place, or he's looking somewhere to go, or whatever. And she ends up finding out, he leaves. She ends up finding out an hour later that now he's in the back in the alleyway, and he had put something in chalk or something to that effect. And let me know if you've seen this. But basically, one woman, one child on the garbage bin. So crap happens everywhere. And you gotta be diligent. I'm pretty aware of, maybe, like I said, job hazard. I try to stay aware of what's going on, who's looking, who's not looking, and try and focus on what they look like. This guy was dressed in a black shirt, in black shorts. He was black shoes. He had headphones that were around his neck. He had those black, even the earring kind of spacers. I don't even know what it's called. If you guys know, let me know what it's called. And then a black hat. And he was probably around 5'9". He was a little heavier set, but I would say like maybe 180 pounds. If I had to guess, maybe 185 maybe. I'm kind of nerdy and can guesstimate fairly well because I used to be in the fitness industry. So that's probably fairly accurate. But anyway, you got to stay safe. Now, here's the other thing. Even in December, when I was in Aruba, there's some weird things happening. I didn't notice at the time because we were in a parking lot, but I was telling my sister and my son, we were talking about how zip ties will go on cars, on the handles, and my son's eyes got really, really big. He's 20 years old, so he's an adult, and I said, what's going on? And he said, oh my God, Mom, I saw the zip ties in the parking lot on a car, and I didn't know that's what it is, and he got really spooked. So just be super careful out there. I'm spooked. I feel sick. You're probably noticing I'm talking a mile a minute. It's uncomfortable at best. And I'm sure I could have done other things, but at the time, you're just trying to think really quickly, what can I do? How can I stay safe? How can I get out of here? And I said to the guy as I was leaving, I don't even want this guy to see what my car looks like. But we waited a little bit, and I was dilly-dallying, trying to get, the groceries in the bag without looking like I'm stalling. And he just sat there. It was the spookiest thing. He just sat there. So, and it reminds me a little bit of this Rachel Morin case too, where, the authorities are saying, careful when you are listening to your headphones, careful, when you have your face in your phone. I mean, people are always watching, and you just never know. And this guy was a young buck, I'll call him. Like, let's face it, I'm not a spring chicken, okay? I'm not old, but I'm not a young, I'm young. Let's say I'm young. I'm younger than J-Lo, but older than Kim Kardashian. Let's just put it that way. Some people are Googling right now. But this guy was younger. I want to say he would have been no older than 30. No older than 30, maybe 33. So I don't know what he's looking at, a 46-year-old. There you go. I just said how old I am. I don't know what he's doing that, but it was, if he wanted to talk to me, he could have talked to me inside, and him waiting out there full on at the door is very scary. Have you had these kind of experiences? I'm sure you have. I mean, even for me, in the past 6 months or even 4 months, there's been 3 situations now that are questionable. And so, as we know, some people are a little crazy, and some people feel like they have a right to people's bodies or whatever. Now, not to say there's people that look, okay? There's people that look. I've seen people look. That's fine. This is what my gut said. And you gotta follow your gut because there's a reason for it. If your gut is saying something's not right, 9 times, maybe 10 out of 10 times, something's not right. So follow your gut and let me know what your experiences are. How do you deal with it? What was something maybe that I could have or should have done that I didn't? I was trying to think pretty fast. Thank God I didn't have my little boy there. That would have probably been a little bit different of a story. I'm like how I would have dealt with it. I don't know, but who knows until you're actually in it, right? So just be very careful. I got home and then I thought, you know what? I need to go for a drive. So I went for a drive. I'm still revved up, but I feel like I need to put this out there. And what better way than to put it on my platform? And what better way than to, we talk about crime all the time on It's a Crime, right? And why aren't we talking about safety? Because women, and there's men too, okay? So there's men that go through this too. I'm not saying they're not. I can only speak from my experience. And, it's a little different as a female, in my opinion, especially, I'm 5 feet tall, I'm 108 pounds. Most people know that. It's a little scary. So please be careful out there. Notice your surroundings. If you see somebody that's questionable, it doesn't hurt to make mental note of what this guy looks like. Maybe I could have taken a picture somehow. Maybe I should have done that, or a video. Again, when you're heightened, you don't know. You don't know if you're going to run or if you're going to stay when you see a bear either, right? that's what I want to say. I hope this gets to you. Please, if you can, share this to other people. Just help them be aware that this stuff happens every darn day. And a wolf can look, what's that saying? A wolf can be in sheep's clothing. Might have been nothing. Maybe he just wanted to say hi, have a nice day. That didn't feel like it. Trust your gut. I'm a little bit speechless right now. I don't know what to say, and weirdly I just had major deja vu. So be careful out there. That's all I want to say. And just be careful. You don't want anything to happen, and thank God he didn't follow me. Watch in your rear view mirror as you're driving away too. Watch your surroundings. Don't go straight home. And if you are driving, take a different way home. Trust your gut. If your gut says go left, then go left. If your gut says go right, then go right. But be aware. Love you guys. Stay safe. I'm going to go relax now, or try to. Have a good night. See you in the next video.